Hey kids, welcome to English 2, Week 5, Lesson 6, Retelling Events. Retelling events is a skill which we use regularly, such as telling someone about our day or weekend. It is a difficult task and requires many smaller skills to be developed first. In retelling events, you have to remember or act out all important events, but it would be better if you can remember the entire story. In this lesson, you are expected to retell or reenact events from a story. Below is an example of a short story. Julia and Anna went gardening yesterday. They watered the plants and bushes. Julia picked up the dry leaves and threw them in a garbage bin. Anna planted sunflower seeds. After doing their task, they sat under the tree and ate apples and bananas. They immediately went back to their house because it rained. Answer the following questions. Where did Julia and Anna go? In the garden. What did Julia do in the garden? Julia picked up the dry leaves and threw them in the garbage bin. What did Anna do in the garden? Anna planted sunflower seeds. Why did they go back to their house? They immediately went back to their house because it rained. Learning Task 1. Read the story below and choose the best answer for each question. Write the letters of your answer in your notebook. Hamburger Sunday. Michelle and her friends have hamburgers every Sunday night for dinner. She helps her friend Lily prepare the buns. When the ham is done, Michelle sets the table. Everyone enjoys the delicious hamburgers. What do Michelle and her friends eat on Sundays? A. Hot dog, B. Hamburger, C. Fries. 2. What do Michelle and Lily prepare? A. Hot dog, B. Sauce, or C. Buns. Number 3. What does Michelle do after cooking the ham? A. Eats, B. Set the table, or C. Goes home. Learning Task 2. Read the story below. Choose the best answer for each question. Red Riding Hood. Mother gave Red Riding Hood a basket of food for Granny. On her way through the woods, Red met the wolf. The wolf ran ahead to Granny's house and pretended that he was Granny. "What big eyes you have," said Red. "And what big ears you have," Red screamed. When the wolf tried to eat her, the woodcutter came and frightened the wolf away. Who went to visit her granny? A. Red Riding Hood, B. Fox, C. Woodcutter. Number 2 said, "What big eyes you have." A. Red Riding Hood, B. Fox, C. Woodcutter. Number 3, who frightened the wolf away? A. Red Riding Hood, B. Fox, or C. Woodcutter. Learning Task 3. Write true if the statement is correct and false if not. Number 1, retelling events refers to remembering what we read or listen to. Number 2, you must read a story again while retelling. Number 3, it is okay to forget the important details of the story in retelling it. Retelling and or reenacting events are two important skills that you must have to check how you understand a particular story. In doing this, you need to actively listen and focus on the details or information presented to you. Retelling events is simply to tell the story again by focusing on the important details. These details include the characters, settings, and events. Reenacting events refer to acting out a story from the story that you have to read or listen to. You have to act it out by focusing on the important details or information. You may also relate yourself in every event so you can easily remember or recall what happened. Learning Task 4. Read the short story below. Choose the best answer for each question. Amber the Ant and the Dove. One hot day, Amber the Ant was searching for some water. He came to a spring, but to reach it he had to climb up a blade of grass. While making his way up, he slipped and fell into the water. A dove sitting on the nearby tree saw him and quickly plucked a leaf and dropped it into the water to save the drowning ant. Where did the ant climb to get some water? A. Tree. B. Vine. C. Blade of grass. 2. How did the dove saved the ant? A. Pluck a leaf and drop it in the water. B. Swam. C. Called a friend. Number 3. If you were the dove and you saw an ant drowning, what would you do? A. Save the ant. B. Fly and joy. C. Go home. Learning Task 5. Read a short story. Select the best answer for every question. Harry and the Purple Crayon. Harry is very imaginative. One day he decided to go for a walk. He took with his favorite purple crayon. He drew the moon. It started following him in his path as he continued his walk. Along the road, he drew his favorite tree with his purple crayon. Moving a little further, he drew a beautiful sea with a boat to sail. Who is the main character in the story? A. Peter, B. Gary, C. Harry. Number 2. What is the favorite color of the main character? A. Blue, B. Purple, C. Pink. Number 3. What was the last thing that Harry drew? A. Moon, B. Tree, or C. Sea. Learning Task 6. Reenact the story. In Learning Task 5, do this in front of your parents, guardians, or siblings. Then ask them to give their comments about your performance using the questions below. Was I able to reenact the events well? Number 2, did I include all important details in the reenacting the story? Complete the paragraph by selecting your answers from the choices below. Retelling blank refers to recalling of important details from the story read or listened to. Meanwhile, blank event means acting out a story using the necessary information. Retelling and reenacting events are two important skills that one must have to know if he or she blank a particular story. Thank you for listening. God bless.